Hey everybody, it's Rhiannon, and I'm here for the unboxing of the Ancestral Path Tarot by Julie Guccia Watts, and this is produced by US Game Systems. So, yeah, here's the box. I've already kind of got the packaging a little bit going, so let's just remove that. How's everybody doing today? I'm so excited to get this open. Okay, so I thought it was going to be like one of the boxes that lifts off like this, but it doesn't look like it is. So let's see here. We can get it open without ripping the box. I have a feeling this deck is going to be a little bit difficult to shuffle just because the size of it, if you guys can see here, like that's a huge wide box. And in fact, I don't even know where I'm going to store it because I don't think I'll have room to store it in my box right here that I keep all my decks that I have at the ready. I don't think it'll fit in there, so I don't know what we're going to do with it. So let's see here. Any of you guys that have watched my Colette Baron Reed video know that I'm like pretty much boycotting Hay House, and I already have enough of their decks anyway, so I've decided to start branching out and purchasing decks from other publishers. Plus, if I'm being honest, Hay House doesn't have a really great selection of tarot. Most of their decks are Oracle. So here's the, in the tarot world, this is known as the LWB, the little white book. Ancestral Path Tarot, definitions of the major arcana. Ancestral Path Tarot. Let me see here so you guys can see. Ancestral Path Tarot is offered by artist Julie Guccia Watts as an ancestral gift to you. It is hoped that you will find it a path to discovery of your own truths. For the artist, it is a synthesis of her spiritual beliefs expressed within the structure of the tarot. Its imagery speaks of the human experience, emphasizing potential trapped in the past and preserved through verbal and written histories, traditions, and myths. This visual feast fulfills the raison d'etre of the tarot patterns, creating meaningful stories of the human condition. We are all embryonic ancestors, similar to the fetus in the Hanged One image in the Ancestral Path Tarot. Through the placental cord of cultural transmission, we embody the worldview of those who shaped and adapted it. We are nourished on the legacy of their belief systems. We are so immersed in the amniotic fluid of our own particular cultural system that we rarely realize that all this nurturing was meant to prepare us for the birth of our own impact on that culture. Wow, that's cool. The process of birth into awareness and responsibility as a mature adult is painful. The world outside our cultural womb is complex and diverse. Some womb-nurtured beliefs are inappropriate for survival and success in this world. So it's all about, breaking down belief systems, even those that are associated with our cultural and our ancestors. So anyway, that's the book. I'm not really going to get that much into that, but there you go. So it looks like this is just like a cover card. And also another little card that just kind of tells us a little bit about the deck. It says the Ancestral Path Tarot by Julie Guccia Watts threads together the diverse beliefs of various cultures in order to find commonalities of experience between them. It examines the tradition of our ancestors through mythology to reclaim a personal spirituality that enables us to perceive the divine in ourselves and others. The Ancestral Path emphasizes the living tradition of all human cultures for us to factor into our worldview. This deck portrays paths created by ancestors of different times and cultures for our consideration. So you can kind of see here some Egyptian type imagery, That looks like Viking or Celtic, Native American or Native, and then, or maybe that's the Viking and that's the Celtic, but I'm not quite sure if that's supposed to be a moon or what this is, but there's that. Okay, and here we go right into the deck. So the Fool. So first thing I guess I've noticed, well, I don't want to be too critical right off the get-go, but the pictures are a little bit blurred, a little bit muddy. Maybe it's because they've just gone so big. And again, I'm not really that impressed with that picture. I don't know, again, if that's the moon or what that is, but so we have the Fool, which it looks like me or a woman, you know, trying to read tarot cards and on the beginning of a journey of self-discovery, which is what tarot can be really amazing for. So I actually do like that. There's some like little poppets kind of hanging there. The Magician. Some Native American kind of petroglyphs. The High Priestess. Pretty traditional. You've got the black and white columns here and the moon. Look at, we've got the Tree of Life from the Kabbalah here. So I like that. Just holding some scrolls. She kind of looks like Cleopatra a little bit. The Empress. The Emperor. Ooh, I like that. So it still feels pretty traditional, which is good if you're used to that traditional Rider-Waite symbolism and art. The Hierophant. That's an interesting Hierophant, though. I like that the Hierophant's a woman. You almost never see the Hierophant as a woman. So I really, 3 women. So this kind of makes me feel a little bit like the Oracle of Delphi. I'm going to just quickly reference the little white book's interpretation of this Hierophant real fast. Let's see here. The Hierophant, a spiritual leader or teacher, connection with the infinite, sacred, macrocosm, or divine, messages from non-rational sources, insights gained by life experience, self-acceptance, maturity, ritual and ceremony, the outer forms of worship, religious and spiritual activities and doctrine, the bestowal of blessings, forgiveness, or absolution from a spiritual leader. Conversely, can indicate a tendency to cling to outdated traditions or ideas, hollow ceremony, meaningless rituals, lip service to outdated or outmoded belief systems, dogmatic, even frantic, religious tyranny, unscrupulous, exploitive religious leaders, false prophecy, blind faith. So see, to me, the later description of that is how I typically view the Hierophant because I have a lot of religious trauma. But I love the beginning message of that. And I think this is going to really help me tap into the higher, like more light meaning of the Hierophant card. Whereas in the past, I've only really been tapping into the shadow of it. So I really like that a lot. Ooh, the Lovers. Although, ew. I mean, it obviously is like Adam and Eve, right? But it's like a little bit, you know, Bee Gees is like Afro Soul Glow. I don't know. It's a little, I like it, but this is kind of silly to me. But the Lovers is the Lovers. The Chariot. Lions. This is pretty traditional meaning there. Justice. I like that. The Hermit's one of my favorite cards always, so I really love that. I want to just quickly, let's just read there. I think this guidebook I'm really impressed with, actually. So let's read their interpretation of the Hermit. Solitude, contemplation, knowledge, or illumination from the past. Valuing traditions, the wisdom of the elders or ancestors, the appearance of a mentor, guide, teacher, or role model at a critical juncture in one's life path. Can also indicate being held back by the past, living in the past, or ignoring lessons of the past. Fear of death, dread of, sorry, dread of aging, denying the validity of tradition. So that's a pretty traditional interpretation of the Hierophant, or sorry, of the Hermit. But I really do like that. Got all that magic and knowledge and wisdom. The Wheel of Fortune. I remember really liking this card as I was looking through it online. The Wheel of Fortune. So you've got the precession of the equinoxes, the zodiac signs here, and the planets. Strength. Ooh, I love that. So now I think we're going to start getting into more of the, you know, ancestral type art, but that's gorgeous. Ooh, the Hanged One. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm not even kidding. I might cry. The Hanged One instead of the Hanged Man. It's like, you know, when has there ever been a time that you were more in a time of waiting, right? Than when you were in your mother's womb and waiting to be born. I don't know. I'm having a super emotional week. I don't know about anybody else, but I have had 2 different types of healing this week. I had a Karuna Reiki session on Tuesday, and then I had a wonderful massage with reflexology as well as craniosacral therapy. And like, I have just been purging so much stuff. Today's also the anniversary of the death of my ex-husband and the father of my children. So I don't know, you guys, I'm an emotional wreck, but that card just made me like literally just, actually, let's read the guidebook on that one. I mean, we all know the Hanged Man definition, but I just want to read their take on it because I'm really liking their book so far. The Hanged One. Transition, a period of rest between significant events, a time when action is inadvisable, surrender to the inevitable circumstances, involuntary sacrifice, descent to the depths of self-altered perceptions by examining things from a different upside-down viewpoint. Can also indicate boredom, stagnation, impatience, ambivalence, or indecision. Yeah, you guys, this guidebook is good. I'm really liking it. Death. Temperance. I'm loving that. For those who may not know, I am of descent, a little bit of Shoshone Indian. And in the past, Native American music, Native American tools, Native American imagery could be very triggering to me. But I'm finding that I'm becoming more at peace with it. But this imagery with her shells reminds me of a story that I've recently heard of the Indians, the Chantok. I hope I'm saying that right. The Chantok Indians that were actually the Channel Islands off the west coast of California, which I had never even heard about. I had heard of Catalina Island, but I didn't realize there was a whole chain of 8 different islands called the Channel Islands they were actually the first people that were discovered before Christopher Columbus and before the pioneers hit Plymouth Rock. There was actually a Spanish settler, Cabrillo, I think his name was, who had landed in the Channel Islands like 100 years before they landed in Plymouth Rock. So anyway, that's what that's reminding me of. But temperance. Ooh, the devil. You still got the lovers there in chains. The tower. Wow, that's cool. You've got the Sphinx here. This looks more like, oh my God, you guys, that is creepy. That looks like the Notre Dame Cathedral that literally just burnt up like, what, a couple weeks ago. That's actually kind of creeping me out. Is anybody else feeling that way about this cathedral? That also looks like, what is it? The Greek Parthenon? Is that what it's called? Wow. The star. And sorry, I'm jumping all around. Back to the story of the Chantok Indians of the Channel Islands. There's a book, I think kids read it in elementary school, called The Island of the Blue Dolphins or something like that. It's about a girl that was left on the islands for 18 years by herself. It's a true story of this native girl. Wow. Look at it. Even shows like pubic hair. But I think it's really tastefully done. Like there's some nudity here, but I think it's very, tasteful and like that's how they would have looked. So I think that's good. The moon. Oh, look, we have this little grandma, this elder here. So it's the feminine, that divine wisdom. The sun. The scarab. Judgment. She's like looking at a mirror, and I think that's kind of like fighting with the ego, and the ego is trying to pull her through. I'm not quite sure what I feel like this imagery here is all about. If anybody knows what's your interpretation of that, leave it in the comments. The world. Pretty basic. Now we're going to get into the minor arcana. So I have the King of Swords here. So like a Japanese samurai. Queen of Swords. This is a little bit more Islander, Pacific Islander, maybe like the Hawaii Islands. Prince of Swords. Who else loved the movie The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise? I did. So good. And also Memoirs of a Geisha. So good. Princess of Swords. Ten of Swords. That's more like a ninja. Nine of Swords. Eight of Swords. Seven of Swords. I wonder why the Asian culture got all the swords cards. Six of Swords. Five of Swords. Four of Swords. Three of Swords. Is anybody else feeling like, I don't know. That's not how I would depict the Three of Swords, but I guess since I do so many love readings, I just always think Three of Swords is like relationship heartbreak, but this looks more like a wife and a mother being left behind while he goes to war. So of course that would still be like indicative of heartbreak, but just in a different way than what I'm used to. Ooh, that's beautiful. Two of Swords. I love that. I love that. We still got the little moon there. And the Ace of Swords. Okay, so staves. What are staves, you guys? Are staves the wands? I think staves would be the wands. So King of Wands or staves. Queen of Staves. Prince of Staves. So we're more into Egypt now. Princess of Staves. Ten of Staves. Nine of Staves. Eight of Staves. I have never done this camera setup, so I hope you guys can see everything okay. Hope the way that I'm holding this is okay. Seven of Staves. Ooh, that's gorgeous. That is gorgeous. I love that. I'm going to read this part. I love that so much. So let's go. Staves. Seven of Staves. Seven of Staves, initiation, induction into the mysteries, solving the riddle of the Sphinx, to will, to know, to dare, to keep silent, the coming together of experience. Goals are achieved by synthesizing the experiences, initiations of the past. Wow. I really love that a lot. Six of Staves. Five of Staves. Four of Staves. And three of Staves. Two of Staves. And the Ace of Staves. Now the cups. Kind of like a little bit of a King Arthur vibe I'm feeling here. King of Cups. Queen of Cups. Prince of Cups. Ooh, that looks like so Fabio-ish. Prince of Cups. Princess of Cups. Oh, it's like Merida, like grown-up Merida. That's beautiful. I like that. Queen of Cups. Ten of Cups. I don't know, that could have been a little bit cheerier to me, just because Ten of Cups is one of my favorite, like, happiness cards. I mean, you still got the rainbow, but you've got these black skies there, but I don't know. It's okay. I don't love it. Nine of Cups. That's pretty. I'm going to read the guidebook on this one. Nine of Cups. Community, celebration, public events, fellowship, sistership, joining a group of people who share similar interests and or values. Conversely, hollow rituals, meaningless celebrations, and events that are devoid of substance. So, pretty traditional Nine of Cups, but yeah. Eight of Cups. Ooh, we've got Stonehenge there. This looks like it's a blood moon. I'm going to read this one too. Eight of Cups. Abandoning assured success for uncertain future. Dissatisfaction with material success. Spiritual yearnings leave takings, farewells, temporary and permanent. So, yeah, I guess that was pretty... I expected that to be a little bit of a deeper meaning just based off of the imagery, but I still like that. Seven of Cups. Six of Cups. Five of Cups. Four of Cups. Three of Cups. Two of Cups. Hopefully you guys can see these okay this far down. And the Ace of Cups. Just trying to figure what that is in the background, but I think that's a whale. Okay, and now instead of pentacles, we have the sacred circles. So the King of Sacred Circles. I kind of like that, sacred circles. Queen of Sacred Circles. Aww. I could do an ASMR. Prince of Sacred Circles. Princess of Sacred Circles. Oh, that's cute. 10 of Sacred Circles. Community. Village. I like that. 9 of Sacred Circles. 8 of Sacred Circles. 7 of Sacred Circles. That's nice. Abundance, right? 6 of Sacred Circles. 5 of Sacred Circles. 4 of Sacred Circles. 3 of Sacred Circles. That's a lot of the kind of the same igloo. The same kind of, you know, hut. 2 of Sacred Circles. Ooh, I like that. The spirit, animal, kind of vision quest type energy. And then the Ace of Sacred Circles. So yeah, you guys, that's the deck. I'm pretty happy with it. You know, I didn't expect this to be like a daily use. This will be more of a personal deck rather than like a deck that I use really for the hotlines or for other client readings. But I think it would also be good for altar work, ritual work. So that's my intention. I'm really pleased with the guidebook. So yeah, that's our unboxing and overview. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you have any questions. I always appreciate a thumbs up and a like. And we'll see you guys really soon. Bye.